Hello, all. Welcome back to One Pitch Catch. We're talking about the IPL final just a few, maybe almost 12 hours after it finished, well, 13 hours. Who writes Virat Kohli's scripts, Ganesh? Maybe second IPL title in a row and finishing it off with a six, top scorer, player of the match, etc., etc. What was your observations about the final? And I
He
mean,
was,
it's a 156 was the target. I guess it was never going to be enough.
if I remember correctly, he was the top scorer last IPL final also for RCB. Though Shashank Singh scored
Yeah,
50.
yeah.
For RCB, I think he got 43, which was the highest score last time. But the disappointing thing was I was wrong. But the final I thought would be a much more closely fought
Okay.
contest. It turned out to be a one-sided game. I think in the first um out of the 40 overs or probably 38 only they played. Of the first 4 overs, the match became one-sided. I think the moment
Correct.
Sai
Yeah.
Sudarshan and Gill were dismissed cheaply, RCB had a perfect plan to dismiss both of them cheaply, which is what other teams have not been able to do to GT this year. GT have been very, very clinical with Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill's batting over the crossing the power play without any
Yeah.
loss of wicket and also scoring at least probably 8 or 9 and over.
Seven,
So
eight,
that,
yeah, eight to
yeah,
something and
yeah.
over. No
So that
sixes.
was
Without loss of wicket, without sixes also.
without sixes also. I mean, yesterday the first six came in the 13th over or something. Jaga. It's
Yeah.
even more. I mean, oh, but still, I mean, yesterday was not at all a contest.
Yeah.
Yes, and Virat Kohli, I mean, amazing. I mean, he's taken to his T20 game to a next level, definitely, which unfortunately he didn't. He was never able to do it for India. Now that he's doing for RCB, it's fabulous to see him bat like that. Because his batting is not the question. His strike rate was always the question. He
Correct.
is
Yeah.
like you always say, no, he was treating a T20 game like a 40% of an ODI. So
Yeah.
now that is gone. And yesterday, I mean, 155 was a very easy target. And the moment Venkatesh Iyer and Virat Kohli started the way they did,
Right.
155 became 120. Almost it
Yes.
looked like 120.
Right.
So that is so now RCB are
How dominant
RCB.
are they?
How I mean, extremely dominant, Jaga. I feel that see from 24 onwards, 24 and 26, the women's RCB team won.
Yeah.
25
Correct.
and 26, the men's RCBT have won. 26 is the first time both men and women the
Yeah.
same
Correct.
from the same franchise are holding the championships. So everybody falls in place. Like you say, I mean, Virat has won another. There are multiple, like
Player of
you
the match
mentioned
award.
yesterday, there are multiple player of the match awards. 8 players doing that,
Yeah.
and everybody contributed. I think Andy Flower, Dinesh Karthik, and all the other coaching staff, along with the players, of course, deserve a lot of credit for where they've taken. For a team which was trying for 17 years, they couldn't get to
Yeah.
the trophy. They were struggling. I mean, they've always been a good team. They are not like one of those also ran teams, but they've
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
been
It's not in the template of say Delhi or Punjab that
a
pretty
yeah.
much underachieved for
Though
decades.
they've never won for the 17 years, they've always been a great team. I mean, I mean, you can talk them in the same level as MI and CSK, that kind of a team. Though they didn't have
Yeah. Or
um,
maybe KKR, right? Because they didn't win, but they were still then and thereabouts in the playoffs. I think 5 or 6 times they've been in the playoffs. So it's
yeah,
not a
and
bad record to have.
very good. But
I think the
now they
problem was that in comparison to the hype that their supporters were creating, the returns were just not there. Now in the last two years, that's
but
happened.
now I think
It's
the
really, now the RCB fans will be impossible to control. That's the problem now.
no, I mean, but actually, the way I mean, forget the fans for a reason for a moment. It's about the coaching staff and the players, especially Andy Flower and Dinesh Karthik. I want to credit them because the way they have built the team. I
Yeah.
mean, I think what they did great was in the auction table, Jaga.
Auction.
They
Yeah, yeah. Correct.
found upset. I mean, lot of teams mess it up there. The recent example from this year, CSK comes to
CSK.
mind. But a lot of other teams over the years have watched auctions, have watched IPL. Lot of teams mess up. I mean, RCB was very clear. They were building for a team perfect. I think all other 9 teams should follow RCB's template now. Even when MI and CSK were winning, they were not this dominant or ruthless. I mean,
Hmm.
of course I have seen CSK win back-to-back titles, MI win
Yeah.
back-to-back titles, but this ruthlessness is unheard of, unreal. Because the way I think all teams, like I was telling about, all teams have to follow RCB's template. teams should find a Virat Kohli, teams should find Devdutt Padikkal, teams should find a Venkatesh Iyer, teams should
Bowlers.
find a Rajat Patidar, and then going down, teams should find a Tim David, a Krunal
Yeah,
Pandya. I mean, that is how now they have set a template for teams to follow and find players who will do Suya Sharma's role, who will do Bhuvi's
yeah, yeah.
role, who will do Hazelwood's role. So
I
those
think I
kind of
think
things.
GT I think GT came close in terms of just the quality of the bowling. You could say even LSG had a decent quality of bowling, similar to RCB's, but they lacked the hitters. They lacked the sort of consistent player who still scores at a 150, 160 strike rate that Virat did.
Exactly.
Teams were missing some of those things,
I mean,
even
even
though they had the
RCB,
bowling.
even RCB for the first 17 years, there, if you see the top 4, 5, no, Gale, Virat, ABD,
Yeah,
Shane Watson for some time, all those people, they had a great team in terms of batting, but they never focused on the bowling. Now I think
yeah,
Andy Flower came in and moved that needle a bit, and the bowling is looking scary. Like we mentioned, even they dismissed of 4 times they met GT, 3 times they have
yeah,
dismissed
yeah,
Sai Sudarshan Gill within the power play, which is
yeah.
not all the teams have been able to do.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that is fabulous that they've
So do
done.
they are they dominant enough to now look forward to 27 and say maybe they'll do three in a row, which no IPL team has ever done?
I mean, it's too early to call Jaga, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if they do a hat trick of IPL titles. But so now
Okay.
basically they've done what India did over the T20 World Cup, right? Back to back
Yeah,
wins.
correct.
So I wouldn't be surprised if RCB does a hat trick of IPL championships, definitely.
Good on that note. Happy celebrations for all the RCB fans out there, and we'll come back again in a few days' time. There's a lot of cricket. There is, of course, the Women's T20 World Cup starting. There are other international series that are going on as well. So we'll keep staying in touch. We'll keep talking about it. Until then, please do leave us your feedback, watch our videos, and leave us your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.